Hi, I'm Subhashni, and today I'm here to talk to you about a panel discussion which I was a part of at JNCMS, where we were discussing how we can start off with AI based startups. And I really do hope that this session will help anybody um, who's a professional or an MBA student to, you know, take the right steps in this direction of setting up a startup which is in the space of AI. There were many keynote speakers, and it was a great session. There was, of course, the Gen CMS Business School was hosting it, and the AI Impact Summit was the name of it. This was the agenda which was given to me, which had 7 questions on how colleges can encourage students to build AI-based startups. And, the first question was, as I mentioned, how can colleges encourage students to build AI-based startups? Very interesting questions. And what I would want to tell the students is that, if you've seen the budgets of the last 5 times, you must have seen that the government has really been pushing for MSME, for women entrepreneurship, for labs in visual media, content creation, and the like. Make in India has been, now I think nobody can say that they don't know about Make in India. Right. So, given what's happening in the global economy and the Indian economy, the evolution is going in a way where employment and entrepreneurship are no longer separate career paths. And many organizations expect professionals to think like innovators and problem solvers using data and technology and even build new products and ventures within companies. Traditional MBA education focused on preparing students for managerial roles, but the modern economy requires institutions to prepare students for innovation led careers, where they may be working in startups, they could create internal innovation units, or launch their own ventures. Now, one of the things that colleges can do to encourage students to build AI-based startups is to embed problem-solving exposure into the MBA learning. Students should work on real-world challenges which are faced by industries such as agricultural, supply chains, logistic inefficiencies, small business digitization, anything which interests them. When students encounter genuine operational problems, they begin to see entrepreneurship not as risky alternatives, but as a viable solution pathway. Secondly, institutions should create innovation labs and incubation programs which are accessible to MBA students. And in this space, I have noticed that engineering colleges have done better than MBA colleges because somehow people do believe that AI is a technical subject. But the truth of the matter is that successful AI startups require product managers, domain experts, strategy thinkers, business model designers, all roles that MBA graduates are trained to perform. Third, entrepreneurship courses should include AI business opportunity identification, funding strategies, regulatory awareness. And finally, institutions should cultivate a mindset where entrepreneurship is viewed as a career enhancing experience. So, what if a startup does not succeed? Employers increasingly value entrepreneurship exposure because it demonstrates initiative, resilience, and cross functional thinking. That yes, this student, is somebody who has all of this. So it will help the student get a job. And if the student could showcase the spirit of entrepreneurship, there have been many changes in the way the cultures of organizations have evolved. And other than government organizations, actually, nearly everywhere, what has happened is that the concept of management trainee has been done away with. When we went to work, 1 year was dedicated by moving all management trainees through different departments so that they could learn about the business. Today, the similar type of learning is often missing. And some of the MBA colleges like Jain University, has its own launch pad. You have, Karnataka state government support. Then you have central government support through Startup India ecosystem, Startup India Seed Fund. So MBA students have a lot of opportunities where they can use all the skills that they are being taught in the MBA courses to create their own entrepreneurship business. Do note that if you have any doubts at any point, I would want you to leave a comment or you can connect with me personally. Now, the second question is what makes an AI idea practical and market ready? Because we would want something which would actually bloom into a new organization. So one of the biggest misconceptions among students is that AI innovation requires highly complex algorithms. And actually the truth is that AI products succeed because they solve real life problems effectively. One of the ways to ensure that an AI idea becomes practical and market ready is to align the development process with the design thinking framework. Design thinking framework, as you know, is a widely used human-centered innovation methodology. The first stage of design thinking is empathize, where you focus on deeply understanding the user and their problem. The second stage is defining the problem, which sort of translates the observed problem into a clearly articulated business question and evaluating the data feasibility around it. Because, see, finally, it's an AI project, right? Data is king. The third stage is ideate, which involves exploring multiple possible solution approaches and include different AI techniques, could include different workflow designs or integration methods. At this stage, the focus should remain on usability rather than algorithmic sophistication. Fourthly, you would go for prototyping, where you stage the ideas, align it to develop pilot models or minimum viable AI solutions that you can test within real workflows. Here, the deployment feasibility becomes critical, and the systems must integrate smoothly into the existing framework of business that exists, that is there. Finally, the last stage is the testing stage, where the solution can be tested to see if it can scale economically and operationally. If the cost of running the system exceeds the value it creates, adoption will be limited, regardless of technical accuracy. So, when AI innovation is guided by design thinking, ideas naturally evolve towards market readiness because process ensures problem clarity, data feasibility, usability, and scalability, rather than focusing solely on technical complexity. This is extremely important to understand, especially as MBA students, that yes, though the technology students, engineering students would be the ones who may be coding on new things, often you are going to be the people who can drive new business. The third question was, how can students design low-cost AI solutions for Indian problems? So here again, I would want us to remember that India is the land of jugaad, right? India offers enormous opportunities for frugal AI innovations, where high impact solutions must operate at low costs while scaling to millions of users. Like, what are the sectors, you can ask me? And things which come to my mind include agricultural productivity, small business digitization, healthcare access, education delivery, urban mobility. All of these require affordable, scalable decision support systems rather than expensive enterprise technologies. So, for these innovations to succeed, student founders and MBA teams must connect innovation thinking with structured product development practices such as test cases, market scenario testing, pilot releases, version deployments. All of these are things which you are taught in an MBA, or you should be definitely taught as you do your MBA. So the first step we already have seen is problem identification and the market scenario analysis, where the student should identify technology adoption gaps, like retailers lack inventory analytics or farmers need crop advisory, and evaluate different market scenarios like rural versus urban, high connectivity versus low connectivity, small versus large. This ensures that the solution is designed for realistic operating on environments rather than ideal lab conditions. The second step involves building prototype models using open source tools and pre-trained AI systems. So this dramatically reduces development cost and time. Instead of developing complex algorithms from scratch, teams can adapt existing models to local data sets and languages and accelerate early validation. After this comes structured testing. This includes creating functional test cases to verify model outputs, user acceptance testing, edge case testing, and pilot deployments. After successful pilot, solutions should move through version releases V1, V2, V3, where each version improves accuracy, usability, and scalability. So, partnerships with local government, NGOs, MSME, and cooperatives help provide large data sets and pilot deployment opportunities, and this ensures solutions reflect ground level realities. Low cost AI innovation is not about building smaller technologies. It is about following structured testing, phased out rollout, and interactive version processing that maximize impact per unit cost, enabling scalable solutions that can serve millions of people around India to start with, and then, of course, around the world. The fourth question that we can think of is how important is industry academia collaboration for AI innovation? See, industry and academia collaboration plays a critical role in transforming classroom learning into market ready innovation, especially when students understand the complete journey from design thinking, technology life cycle, commercialization, branding, funding, profitability. Academic institutions provide this conceptual framework, but it's only when students interact with the industry partners that they get the contribution of real world data sets, operational challenges, funding opportunities, and deployment environment. So you really do need academics to give us the basics, but then you need to be able to, at a certain level, start getting industry involvement to ensure that you can actually deploy your organization or the project in real world situations, right? So it is extremely important to have both of them on your side. Now, the fifth question is, what skills do employers look at while hiring AI and analytics graduates? Now, I know this that a lot of people who think that, see, entrepreneurship is all very fine, but I want a job. So when you look at it, see, employers today increasingly seek professionals who combine analytical literacy, business thinking, collaboration skills, and a strong go-getter attitude. So, this is important, especially in this age where most organizations are undergoing digital and AI driven transformations. So, while technical specialists build the models and systems, companies require managers who can interpret analytical outputs, frame the right business questions, and convert insights into real operational decisions. Entrepreneurship experience plays a powerful role in demonstrating these capabilities, making it a strong differentiator during placements. Right? It shows that you can work in diverse cross functional teams. You can get along with different types of people. You manage conflicts, communicate across disciplines, lead collaborative problem solving efforts. So, all of these show that this student has a fire in the belly mindset and is willing to take initiative, experiment, and persist through uncertainty and pursue solutions proactively rather than waiting for instructions. So it's a big win. You do benefit if your resume can show a entrepreneurship experience. The next question is, how can startups balance fast innovation with ethical AI practices? So, see, what are the things that we have to remember? That organizations that ignore ethical considerations risk reputational damage, legal penalties, and investor distrust them. Long-term customer loss they will have. So though speed is essential, and that's what every youngster feels, right? If it is there, let me just take it and use it. But understand that if you're looking at a longer game, you have to believe in ethics. One major ethical concern is plagiarism and intellectual property misuse, particularly when using publicly available data sets, open source models, or generative AI tools. So startups must ensure that the data, code, and content they use comply with licensing terms and copyright laws. copying proprietary data sets, reproducing models without attribution, or presenting AI generated outputs as original research can lead to serious legal consequences and a loss of credibility. So, everything that you're working for will just go away if you do not work with ethics, because startups that build trustworthy systems from the beginning, they gain strong stakeholder confidence, attract better funding opportunities, and achieve more sustainable long-term growth while maintaining the agility which is required for innovation. Right? So do remember, keep balancing your innovation with the responsibility of ethics. How can AI be developed sustainably with lower environmental impact? So we have all read that, last year Google's sustainability goals for energy, was way off. Like they overspent by nearly 48 to 50%, because they invested in AI, which needs a lot of computing power. So as AI adoption grows, energy consumption and environmental impacts are becoming important concerns. See, even the Bitcoin revolution, they say Bitcoin, just to maintain the Bitcoin network, it takes as much energy as Switzerland, which is the seventh largest energy consuming nation of the world. Doesn't even impact 1% of the world's population. So it is not, it sounds very nice to say use AI and use these latest computation heavy technologies, but there is a huge impact in power bill. Sustainability is a big challenge. So training large AI models and running continuous prediction systems require substantial computing power, which in turn consumes electricity and contributes to environmental impact. So as young founders building AI startups, sustainability should be considered from the earliest stage of product design, not as a later addition, because it will be very difficult to change workflows then. Like, what are the things you can do, you may say? So you could choose cloud providers that rely on renewable energy powered data centers, or you could you can look at some AI processes that are environmentally responsible. So these are the type of things that we can work on, because investors are increasingly evaluating startups on ESG, that is environmental, social, and governance considerations. By integrating sustainability metrics alongside financial and performance metrics while planning AI solutions, startup founders can build businesses that are cost efficient, responsible, and future ready, and position themselves strongly in both funding and market adoption scenarios. So I hope that you have really enjoyed some of these questions and the answers that I have been able to provide to you. Please do understand that as an MBA student of today, you must prepare for a professional world where employment, innovation, and entrepreneurship intersect. While securing a job remains an important goal, long-term career success increasingly depends on ability to create value within the organization, or in startups, or in independent ventures. The India's economic environment, which has been characterized by strong entrepreneurial activity, government startup support system, and a significant proportion of self-employed professionals, this offers immense opportunities for AI-driven innovation. AI is therefore not only about technology, it's about problem solving capability, opportunity recognition, responsible leadership, and the ability to translate ideas into scalable solutions. So I'm wishing you, every one of you, the very best. And I do hope that whatever um, is the project that you want to work on, you will find success in it. Thank you.